How's it going there, everyone? It's Mr. Zen over here, bringing you guys a brand new Drifters anime discussion. And for today's anime, guys, we are going to be looking at Drifters episode 6, folks. And in this episode, we actually get a look at as to more of the political game that's actually unfolding around the lore that's involved within between the Drifters against the Orta Kingdom. And actually, the Drifters in this episode, it seems to me that they actually are winning in the case, because after this episode, folks, we actually get to still the justice that the elves actually have taken with the Orta Kingdom. Granted, they actually won their actual wives back from the Orchard Kingdom, and after they won their wives back, that was just not it, guys. That was just the tip of the iceberg, guys. There was still so much action going on within the episode that there is still much to explain. Granted, take one for example, as Adolf Hitler was actually mentioned in this episode, folks, and granted that it was very exciting to know that Adolf Hitler was actually mentioned, but then they diminished his character so quickly because they killed him off at that instant that they mentioned him. And I was actually laughing at that little particular scene with Nobunaga actually talking about Adolf Hitler and he wanting him to meet him in person. I'm here thinking like that would be actually a very interesting ruse right there, to actually see Oda Nobunaga and actual Adolf Hitler meet as two powerful military leaders actually come face to face. But they didn't really do that in this case due to the fact that after the Orta Kingdom was actually successfully risen due to Adolf Hitler's actual help. And granted, I like how the episode did kind of state at the fact that Adolf Hitler said, oh, we don't know if he's a drifter or he's an End, and if he's part of the Orta Kingdom, that must mean that he's probably an End. In my honest opinion, it probably might be an End, because to me, the Orta Kingdom might possibly be maybe a main enemy. But if he is a drifter, it would actually also maybe fit in with the drifters due to the fact that most of the drifters that have been involved and showcased, they necessarily don't have, I would say, special powers like the other actual Ends themselves. You know, the Ends themselves have these like magical and imbued powers that makes them stand themselves different from the drifters themselves. But like I said though, seeing Adolf Hitler would have been a blast to see him in the actual episodes. But like I said, they actually killed him off, so there's really nothing we could do about it. Later on then in the episode, we're going to move on, guys, very quickly. We actually then get to see the elves actually train more and more, and while we're at it, we actually get to see freaking Toyohisa come face to face with his political scandal that he's going in. And apparently Oda Nobunaga does not want Toyohisa to be a bloodthirsty killer. No, in the face of everything, remember guys, Toyohisa has to be the face of a military hero, not a killer. That's why Oda Nobunaga said right there and then, before Toyohisa was gonna behead the heads of some of the servants and workers from the Orta Kingdom, he said, no, let me do it, because I will be the shadow of your fist. Right there and then, I'm always thinking right there in that moment, guys, it actually makes sense, because it kind of reminds you a little bit off of the Hunger Games. I don't know if any of you guys have actually ever seen that. Remember guys, like Katniss was, she was just the face of a military front. That's all she was, and everything else that happened during the battles, it was basically someone else's doing. Like I said, it's very entertaining to see how Toyohisa and Oda Nobunaga are actually coming to terms. And it's funny because in the episode, they were actually having their little own dialogue between themselves, and you could tell that they both know what really is going on. And Toyohisa does not like to do that. He wants to take the heads off someone. He wants to do it himself. He does not want someone else to do it when he himself can actually do it. And like I said, it's great seeing two military leaders actually go at it head to head in this. But at the end of the day, they still actually have butted their heads and said, you know what, we're going to compromise due to the fact that, you know, we have the main enemy that we have to face. Like I said, still entertaining. But granted though, that was the part of the drifters on the side of that particular part of the episode. Then we're going to move on to the actual, you could say, the Ends and the Orta Kingdom, as they actually showcase more and more actual, you could say, characters that have been kind of been shown on the spotlight on this particular episode. And that is, you could say, Saint Germain, whoever this character is. Because when you see this episode and you see this particular character, I, for the love of God, was very much cringing throughout the whole entire time that I was watching this character. Because this character, folks, my God, was a transvestite. I am not freaking kidding you, folks. A freaking transvestite. Lipstick, eyeliner, everything, all acting. It was very cringy to watch. I mean, granted though, it's okay if there's a transvestite going on there, but just enough with the shenanigans, and everything that like a cliche, or if that even was a cliche, the way they kind of progressed him in this episode was just kind of a little cringy to watch, and I was just kind of mind-boggled at the fact that they kind of made this character seem that way. And I was thinking to myself, was this actual person like that as the actual person that was based off on? But I'm here thinking this probably the animators probably doing that to actually make himself stand out against the different type of people that are around the drifters and the ends. Like I said, it's very entertaining to see how they're kind of going on with that. But like I said, at the end of the episode, Saint Germain was a strong military leader as well. And it seems to me that I feel like this person might be with the drifters also as well. Because when you look at this character, when you look at it, guys, you literally see him talking about that he's going to go meet with some of the elves, or in particular due to the rebellion. So it goes along to say that he might be a double spy, actually. Now that might be interesting in itself. He's a double spy working with the Orchard Kingdom to see as to what's going on around the actual kingdoms and countries that's going along. And by the way, the freaking elves themselves are actually doing wonderful in this episode due to the fact that they actually risen to a point that they're actually taking back the kingdom, that are making the freaking military leaders from the Orchard Kingdom move in a strategic way in order for the freaking drifters to actually come combat them in a certain way that you can know for sure that they're going to combat heads right there and then. And which, by the way, Joanne of Arc is going to come out at the next episode, because the fact that you see the ends, they are not taking this lightly. Oh no, sirree. The ends themselves at the end of the episode are saying, you know what? Oh no, enough is enough. We finally found some of the drifters themselves, and we're going to go kill them. And by the way, it's funny because the fact that we're going to see Joanne Arc face off against freaking Oda Nobunaga, Yoichi, and Toyohisa. Now that is interesting. That's how I feel like episode 7 is going to be going on about, because of the fact that they actually got spotted out. We don't know as to how, but it's probably due to the fact, like I said, that all the information has been regarded, like I said, all the elves uprising all around the whole Orchard Kingdom themselves, that it's actually been enough to be surfaced so that the ends themselves can find the drifters. Like I said, it's very entertaining to see how the actual episodes are very much going along the route. Like I said, the political scandals that are actually going in the actual episodes is actually going great too. Granted, I hope that Toyohisa and Oda Nobunaga don't butt heads, because these two characters are perfect for each other. They really are. Granted, they do have their own little arguments, but I do not want them to separate themselves, because of the fact that together they actually are a powerful force to reckon with in this brand new world that they're trying to conquer. Like I said, it's entertaining to see how they're actually going with. And by the way, Yoichi was actually showcased just a little bit in this episode. It just seems to me that Yoichi was shown to be like more and more along his actual clan members. But like, it seems to me like their clan members are like ninjas of some sort, and it seems that they're all very, very beautiful men of some sort. Like I said, like, I'm assuming that was due to the fact they're trying to use Yoichi as a comic relief part in the episode, because of the fact that the elves themselves are also good looking. And it seems to me Yoichi and the elves are kind of having like a little comical argument right there, and then it's kind of hilarious how they're kind of going with that. It's probably due to the fact that they both love to do archery, they both love to do craftsmanship. Like I said, it's probably due to that actual reason. And by the way, speaking of craftsmanship, it seems that Nobunaga is actually wanting to create guns in this brand new world, but he can't due to the fact that he can't recreate the same guns that he brought from the old world. But it seems to me that the dwarves are gonna be involved in making the freaking guns themselves. So I can't wait to see what the dwarves are going to be able to do. So imagine Oda Nobunaga and Yoichi with magical weapons. Now that's going to be the part that I feel like the drifters are going to be on par with the ends, because they might actually gain magical weapons. Now that, like I said, it's starting to become very entertaining as to see how the episodes are going. And which, by the way, they actually showcase some other characters as well, folks. They actually showcase some actual, you could say, a World War II veteran or military called Tamon Yamaguchi. And this character, guys, oh my god, you literally see he's taking over the seas, which actually caused Saint Germain to actually get off his seat and throne, because of the fact that the seas themselves are being overtaken by the drifters. And I feel like this person, like Tamon, I feel like he's another drifter as well. He's gotta be, like, legitimately, he's gotta be a drifter in order to actually cause havoc for the Orchard Kingdom. Like I said, it's just all these power plays that are going about, I feel like they're all drifters. Like, I feel like all the ends have already been showcased there and then, and everybody else has to be a freaking drifter, guys. Like I said, all the ends are just now, they're done and everything, and they're just like chess pieces moving together as one, which makes them a powerful foe right there. And then, like I said, but Tamon, which by the way, it kind of gave off a little reference to World War II due to the fact that some of the men that Tamon sent out to like destroy some of these fleet ships that were outside in the seas, they were saying Tora Tora Tora. It was kind of a reference to actually the Japanese Pearl Harbor attacks. Like, holy snap, that was actually freaking hilarious. Not hilarious, but like holy snap, you know, like they're queuing in to say that, you know, they got a strong military leader. Because remember, Pearl Harbor was actually a giant main event for the US and Japan itself. So it goes along to say this military leader that they have on their hands for the drifters, he's a force to be reckoned as well. Like I said, it's great to see, like I said, how all the characters are interacting with one another and how they're actually doing their own side quests and their own missions themselves. Like I said, but it's granted though, I want to see more as to how they're going to pertain that certain character Tamon into the story, due to the fact that we don't know how they're going to bring the sea involved with the drifters and the ends themselves. Are they going to go out to sea, or are they going to bring that combat strategy inland? Like I said, it just makes it brings so many questions to at the same time as to what's going to be happening with that certain character. Like I said, it's very entertaining to see. Like, there's a broad array of characters that are being introduced in this episode, but at the end of the day, guys, the Orchard Kingdom is definitely losing, because that's what this episode was mainly about. The Orchard Kingdom is done there and then, and even Saint Germain himself even witnessed it himself, even though there was a little comical skit that they kind of did at the end of the episode. But the Orchard Kingdom is done. But that's it for today's episode, guys. Let me know down in the comments below what you guys thought about Drifters episode 6. What are you guys' thoughts on the next episode, as well as episode 7 is going to involve Saint Joanne of Arc, involving fighting with the frickin' 3 main characters that from episode 1. Like I said, let me know down in the comments below what are you guys' thoughts on the anime episode. And as always, guys, if you guys enjoy my content, give a like, comment, share, and subscribe for more Drifters anime episode discussions. And as always, guys, have a wonderful day. But this is Mr. Zen, signing out.